Adam is now ringing his mum.
Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. I am Adam. He is Joe. Welcome back to the channel. Joe, how you doing?
Thanks for having me on. Yeah, it's been a while.
I know
I'm glad to be here.
It has been a while. I mean, we make videos together every day. Not that it makes any difference, but we're back here today on the big Premier League Predictor preview, or whatever we like to call it on this show. Southampton against Manchester United up next. Obviously, brief look back at the last game, how we're feeling, general mood in the camp at the moment.
It's getting a bit better, isn't it? The West Brom game didn't feel like a real win, but it was 3 points. And then the Istanbul one felt like a proper win. And then before that, the Everton game felt like a proper win. So we're getting wins in a row, which is nice to see. Even though the West Brom one was kind of weird, you give the excuse we're coming back out of international break. You give the excuse that we haven't won at home all season, so it was always going to take a bit of a tricky performance to get that first win done. And then obviously we bounced back again with the Istanbul performance, especially the first half. I think the mood is on the way up again, which is nice.
It's on the way up, but it's very fragile, isn't it? And we know that these fixtures, or a fixture like this, could change the mood in the camp very, very quickly. So the boys need to be at it. The boys need to be putting in a performance. And obviously the performance against Istanbul, particularly in the first half, was a lot better, with some of the new signings performing quite well. So Tellez performing well, Edinson Cavani performing well, and of course Donny van der Beek. In this show, of course, we're going to predict the 11, predict the score, and we're going to have a wild card prediction at the end as well. So first things first, let's get stuck into those predicted 11s. Do any of those three players start for you in this game?
Yeah, I would say two of them do.
Okay. What's your 11?
I'm going to go De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Tellez. I'd be pretty stunned if we didn't see that.
No changes to the back five.
No changes. I mean, we saw Brandon Williams come on at right back, but if anything, that means that Wan-Bissaka's more likely to play unless he was injured. But I've not heard about that, so I assume that Wan-Bissaka's fit to play, and he plays every week when he's fit. Lindelof and Maguire, yeah, of course, and Tellez. Luke Shaw's out, so what else are you going to do? The midfield, I think we will see Donny drop back to the bench. I think it's going to be Fred, who, again, has almost become an ever-present now in the midfield. He's the reliable one. He's the one who's that industrious, hard-working, but he's also, he can dribble out of tight spaces. He's not a great passer of the ball, but he's good on the ball, I think. And then I think we're probably going to see a return of Scott McTominay. He was rested, or he wasn't ready, or Solskjaer talked about his lack of fitness maybe because he's played so many games. He didn't play against Istanbul, whatever the reason was. I think he'll come back. We tend to play those two in the big games, or the games where we need a bit extra. So I'm expecting them to. And I know you'll see it. If that is a formation, you'll see it on Twitter, you'll see it on social medias, other than Twitter. You'll feel it where everyone will go, oh, why is it them two? They can't do. But they beat Everton with those two. They beat PSG with those two, twice.
For certain teams, it's the best.
It
option,
works,
isn't it?
and I think someone like Southampton away, especially where it's not going to just be, oh, this game's a gimme. We're going to have 80% possession or whatever. You need that, where you need to have two players in there who can actually win the ball back and then get the ball out quickly. I think Van der Beek's good at getting the ball out quickly, but he doesn't quite have that win the ball back thing. Obviously, Bruno in the middle. I'm going to go Rashford on the left. Martial on the left, Rashford on the right, Cavani up front.
So you're going with the same front
Yeah,
three.
It worked.
It did work last time. That's a good team, that. I like that. Now, I think there will be changes to that team, but not because I don't agree with the reasons or whether certain people should start, but I do think we have to be aware that the fitness of the likes of Edinson Cavani isn't going to quite be there, even if he did look like he could cover every blade of grass the other day. So we have to take our time with him, and I think Ollie will be doing that. He mentioned it in a press conference before that. There's no point rushing people back to just have them go again, and then I haven't got them available for my squad. He said the same about Paul Pogba, who's got an ankle injury. And I think that's one thing that I kind of like from him. At the moment, he's not rushing players back. At the start of the season, he rushed Pogba back, in my opinion. But apart from that, he hasn't rushed anyone back. And I think there's a danger this season of somewhat unknown. Where are we going ahead? How many injuries are there going to be? How many teams are going to suffer? Because I think a lot of teams could suffer with injuries. We've already seen Liverpool have it early. Obviously, still performing well, but I think we'll see more. So I do think he'll err on the side of caution with Edinson Cavani and maybe not start him in this game. So my 11, David De Gea in goal, the same back four, Wan-Bissaka, Tellez, Lindelof, Maguire. In midfield, Fred and Donny van der Beek. Ollie seems to stick with things when they work, which I don't know if that's good or bad. Sometimes it's not good. But I think he'll stick with Fred and Donny van der Beek here. Bruno Fernandes will play. I'd like it to be more of a 4-3-3 than a 4-2-3-1, but I can see it being more of a 4-2-3-1. And then I've gone for Rashford on the left, Martial through the middle, and Mason Greenwood on the right. Although I would like to see your one as well.
I think when you mentioned about how Ollie, when something works, he does it again, and when it works, he does it again, and when it stops, he's like, I'm not doing it. And some part of that, yes, you're like, it depends the way you frame it though. Because if you frame it as, he relies on whenever a team plays well, he just goes, play that again. There's no adaptability there. You can say it that way. He doesn't have adaptability. He just plays whoever played well in the last game in the next game, when really you need to say, well, this team we're playing against needs this formation. But if you want to frame it the other way, where you say, let's say he changes it up a lot, people will go, we need consistency. We need consistency in the lineups. We don't know our best starting 11. Well, you can't have it both ways.
You can never win, right?
So I think you've got to say, really, if you find things that work, obviously you can't just go same again, and it, no matter who you're playing against, because you've got to adapt a little bit. But I think if we can have the consistency of, Fred and Van der Beek works, let's try it again. Or Martial on the left, Rashford on the right, who I thought looked excellent on the right-hand side, works, let's try it again. So it's always going to be something you can criticise a manager for, whether that's a lack of adaptability or a lack of consistency, depending on how you want to word it. But I think the diamond in midfield didn't work against Arsenal. That's the big one where he tried it again and it was shit. Other than that, when we tried it again and again and again,
obvious it wouldn't work.
Yeah, well, maybe it was, and maybe you've got to give him some criticism for that, and I think that's fair. I'm not saying never criticise the manager. I think he made mistakes against Arsenal specifically. But look at last season: Matic, Pogba, Bruno, Rashford, Greenwood, Martial.
And Fred.
We all know that team. It played 9-10 games in a row together and won 8 or 9 of those 10. So that's consistency, and that's what you need. You need a balanced team that knows that your first team and it can win most of the games it plays. So if we're edging towards that by picking the best players, I'm fine with that.
Yep. Are you going to be fine with the score? What's your predicted 11?
Predicted 11 or predicted score?
Predicted
score.
Unless we're scoring 11 goals.
I'm going to predicted 11. Well, 6 goals to us, 5 goals to them. I think it's going to be 2-1. I don't think it's going to be dead easy. But Southampton, whilst they've had a good start to the season, it's the same when we played Everton. You're like, they've been really good, Alan's this and Rodriguez and Calvert.
Alan is good, though.
They are. They're all good. Calvert-Lewin's good. James Rodriguez is good. Luca Digne is good at Dean or whatever you want to say at left back. They've got good players in loads of positions, but
Herb Dean.
It's still Herb Dean at left back, yeah. It's still Everton or it's still Southampton, or you can't be like, they've had a decent start to the season, so we're going to shit ourselves. Like, you would lose to every single team you played against. We only beat the teams who were on a run of form of 4 wins in a row or worse, or 4 losses in a row or worse. Otherwise, we're scared. It's Southampton. It's a decent side who are achieving more than they did this time last season, but we've got to beat them. And it's not going to be dead easy, but I think 2-1.
Yeah, I think we'll beat them. I think we'll beat them comfortably. These games where we expect the worst, usually
like Everton.
So I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Manchester United. I think we'll get the result. And obviously Danny Ings is a big miss for them as well. Obviously they've got a few players out, but I think Danny Ings is a massive, massive miss for them. What's your wild card prediction?
My wild card prediction is, I think it will be 2-1, and I think both goals will be scored by Mason Greenwood coming off the bench. That's my wild card prediction.
Oh, for United, yeah?
Yeah.
I got scared. I was thinking, you predict?
No,
I didn't.
He's not. I don't think he'll start. But he came on the other day against Istanbul, and the first couple of times he got the ball, he just got it, sprinted at the goal, and a couple of times the ball was behind him by the time he got there because he was so focused on the goal.
He had one. The first time he had a pass on to Martial. The second time he had a pass on to Cavani. He just ignored him. And then when he was going through and Daniel James was there, I thought
he's going to miss it. Yeah. So I'm thinking Mason Greenwood, his way, I think in his head, or maybe just, the way that he instinctively does things is, I'm going through a bit of a tough patch for whatever reason. I'm going to score my way out of this. I think when he comes on, he's going for goal.
That's what I want to see from Martial sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, just fucking get your head down and shoot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, my wild card is
But I suppose that
2 goals for Mason
that
Greenwood
can
off the
be a
bench.
good thing as well, in terms of
Yeah, I don't think
you
it's a
don't
bad
just
thing.
get greedy. Do you know what I mean? Like to look to score. Sometimes you see that. But I think as a number 9, get greedy, please.
What's
Like,
your...
start slapping up Bruno for the penalties as well?
Yeah, he's not bad at penalties either.
No, he's
Marshall.
not. But like if Rashford's allowed to get back on him, he should have been there. Like
He's won.
see the number on my shirt, lads.
Yeah.
But yeah, my wild card prediction.
Hassenhuttl struck by lightning. Not that wild.
Should see the lightning in Southampton. It's not that
It's
wild.
rough.
Martial scores not a wild card, or it might be.
It is this season.
It might be in the Premier
is this year.
League.
Wild card, Martial might score.
Martial to breathe.
Yeah.
Harry Maguire to finally score a header.
Ooh, he say finally scored one against Newcastle about 3 games ago, so I won't accept that disrespect.
Okay,
but
that's
yes,
not
he'll
good.
score another header.
Nah, that's not a good wild card.
Okay. I can't allow that. He scored one against for England
Aaron
as well.
Wan-Bissaka scored against Newcastle, but if I say he scored,
That's more wild. All right, what?
wild,
Maguire scored 2 or 3 goals already this season.
wild thoughts. This section of the show could be
Wild thoughts.
wild thoughts. You reckon Rihanna will do the theme tune for us?
Yeah, defo.
My wild thought for this week is
Oh, come on. How about we see a copy? No, actually, I can't say that. That little ball grab that we saw in the Championship. One of them.
God, that would be horrible. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to get sent off.
Ooh!
He's been a bit tetchy recently,
He
hasn't
has.
he?
In a 2-0 win as well. Something's got to
So it's going to be
happen
0-0. Shit's going to kick off. He's going to lose his head. Get sent upstairs, and United are going to win. And I'll be all for it.
there. Nice.
Love a bit of madness. Great songs. I'm joking.
Do you not like him?
What song did they do again? Rabbit, Rabbit, and all that shit.
No, that's Chaz and Dave. I think like Our House.
Oh yeah,
in the middle of that one.
yeah, that was good.
Down.
I always get confused between him and the comedian with the big teeth, Sean Connery.
Sean Connery ain't a comedian
Sean.
with big teeth.
The comedian, Sean Connery. Do I just keep saying that?
What comedian
Connolly.
called Sean Connery?
Blonde lad, innit? Big teeth. Wasn't I Rob Beckett?
Rob Beckett.
No, not Rob Beckett. It's an old fella I'm thinking of.
Big
He
teeth.
looks like the guy from Madness. He's a comedian.
John Bishop.
Not John Bishop. He's Cockney.
Mickey Flanagan.
He's an old school 90s fella. Trust me. Connolly. Not Billy Connolly. Sean Connery.
It's not Sean. Sean
He might
Connery.
have.
Oh yeah. Sean Connery's James Bond and dead. You know that. This is the section where Adam Googles 90s Cockney comedians.
Right, yeah, we're going to wrap this show up. But
We've got to find out who it is first, for my sake, let alone the viewers.
I'm trying to fucking musical. He wasn't musical, was he? No, not Jim Davidson. He was racist.
Roy
as
Chubby
fuck.
Brown.
Not Roy Chubby.
Who was your favourite one, eh?
It's my nan's favourite, which worries me.
Was he?
Nah. I remember
yeah, it was.
VHS being
Your
in
nan's
the
got a
house.
little cap with a propeller on the top of
Oh,
it,
what
like
was
he
it,
has.
man? The daytime TV a lot as well. Always on shows.
It's going to be someone so
Sean
massive.
Sean Connolly. He used to
Billy
do songs and
Connolly?
that. Billy, no, the Billy is the Scottish one.
Yes, he's Scottish, but he's got a name like Sean Connolly. Sean Locke? Sean Walsh?
Oh no, that's not him.
We can trim this. We'll trim this. We'll trim this from it when he goes, who's that guy? And then he'll go, Sean Connolly.
But I'm never gonna find out who this guy is. So
What we're going to do? We can't end this episode.
Paul O'Grady.
We
No,
can't end this
Paul O'Grady
episode
was
without knowing who that is. Such a tease.
Billy Connolly.
It's not Billy Connolly, is it? Long-haired Scottish
He does
fella.
like ITV a lot. He wears suits, presents things, does songs. He's done songs. He's done albums.
Bill Bailey.
Not Bill Bailey. He's British.
Bill Bailey's British.
Bill Bailey's British.
Bill Bailey's British Beef. Sponsored by Sean Connolly. Who the frickin' frick that is. Come on. This will get trimmed anyway, so you might as well take your time
You know
now.
what the worst thing is? I'll search for comedians and I'll see someone that makes me think of him, but then he's not there.
Also, you
Not Lee Evans. Ah. I can see his face.
Well, describe the face. Get near the mic.
He's always smiling. Got white teeth. He's cockney as fuck, I think. Wears a suit usually.
Michael McIntyre.
No! Michael McIntyre actually follows me on Twitter and I've never followed him in my life.
Is he white?
Yes.
What colour's his hair?
He's probably grey now, but...
He does songs.
Welcome to the preview.
28-minute preview. It's him Googling comedians from the 90s. This will get...
Yeah, it's fucked. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, this will get trimmed.
Yes.
Let me find it then. Let's find it together.
Do you want to find it off?
No, because we've got to find it.
What did he used to do? Oh, fuck's sake.
Not Frank Skinner, obviously. He does songs. And he's got big teeth. Adam is now ringing his mum to ask what the name of this comedian is. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam's mum. Put it on speaker then.
Yeah. She'll call me a cunt or something.
Yeah, it's funny. She's not going to answer.
She's not answering.
She's watching a
Thanks,
box
Mum.
set of Sean Connolly, probably. Tim Minchin?
No.
Noel Fielding?
No. 80s.
80s? You said 90s.
90s British comedians.
Is that the one non film? Is that the guy who's
There is Brian Conley! Yeah! Him!
I can say without doubt, I have never seen that man in my life.
fucking Scottish to start with?
I said British.
You said Cockney! What, did you mean Cockney, Cockness monster or something? What do you mean?
He's not Scottish.
He is Scottish. So Brian Conley.
He's born in Paddington, London, you
So if we can get a picture
knob.
of him, if we can get a picture of him and put him on the video, you're gonna have to do that now.
Brian Conley.
And trim, just for because I'm sure this video was trimmed down. Because if it wasn't, it's a
This
shambles. Oh, I know him. He's not on that much telly now.
He used to be.
He looks a bit like him who presents.
He does.
Him who presents. What's it called?
Always wears a suit.
Always wears a suit or a genie costume if he's doing panto.
His teeth are the thing that were.
So Brian Conley.
What was we talking
off
about?
air, what was cut out was honestly about 12.5 minutes of him Googling. He rang his mum to try and find out who it is, and it's Brian Conley. What? And we'll go back now to what we were talking about before. Why did you mention Brian Conley? Don't know, does he?
Wild card. He's gonna score for Southampton. So there you have it, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like and comment, share and subscribe. And if you want a real preview of this game, then head over to Stretford Paddock, where me and Joel did a proper chat about the game. But for now, thank you for watching. Follow him on the socials, Joel Smith 93, everywhere I believe it is.
Yep.
So go and do that. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Ta-ra.